The following podcast is a next level production.
What's going on, everybody? Ben Beck here for Wilhelm, bringing you a bonus episode. This time, a short and spoiler-free film review for Top Gun Maverick. I had an opportunity to see this film in an advanced press-only screening last night, Wednesday, May 18th in Philadelphia, and man, oh man, I need to tell you about this movie. Again, it's going to be spoiler-free, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. I'm not going to give anything away other than what's already been revealed about the movie before even going into it. These are going to be very short, maybe 5 to 10 minute reviews, just like so this one, as well as any other reviews I do in the future, because it's just me. So there's not really any ideas or anything I'm bouncing off other people. No long drawn out conversations, just me giving you my quick thoughts on what I felt about the movie. And keep in mind, this review is nothing more than my opinion. It should not be taken as definitive reasoning for you to see or avoid seeing a movie. The only way to do that is to form your own opinion by going to check out the movie yourself. I encourage film watching. It's a movie. My opinions may differ from yours. I may love a movie you hate and vice versa. So again, please just take this as my opinion, not yours. See the movie for yourself, because you never know. You may feel completely differently. That being said, let's talk about Top Gun Maverick. So first things first, this movie has a running time of 2 hours and 17 minutes, 2 hours, 11 minutes, depending on who you talk to. Right now, currently on Rotten Tomatoes, and again, this is the critics rating because the audience score hasn't been released yet since the movie has not released to theaters, but Rotten Tomatoes currently has this movie sitting at a 97%, and Metacritic currently has this sitting at a 80 out of 100, but that 80 out of 100 is no negative reviews, so keep that in mind. It's mostly favorable with some somewhat favorable, but no negative. So there have not been any negative reviews about this movie released as of yet. But again, it is only press that are seeing the movie. So that may change as we progress forward. Quick summary of the movie. After more than 30 years of service as one of the Navy's top aviators, Pete Maverick Mitchell, played by Tom Cruise, is where he belongs, pushing the envelope as a courageous test pilot and dodging the advancement in rank that would ground him. When he finds himself training a detachment of Top Gun graduates for a specialized mission the likes of which no living pilot has ever seen, Maverick encounters Lieutenant Bradley Bradshaw, played by Miles Teller, call sign Rooster, the son of Maverick's late friend and radar intercept officer Lieutenant Nick Bradshaw, a.k.a. Goose. Facing an uncertain future and confronting the ghosts of his past, Maverick is drawn into a confrontation with his own deepest fears, culminating in a mission that demands the ultimate sacrifice from those who will be chosen to fly it. Talk about the cast real quick. Of course, we have Tom Cruise reprising the role of Maverick, Jennifer Connelly, Miles Teller, as I mentioned, playing Rooster's son, or Goose's son, call sign Rooster. Return to the franchise in Val Kilmer reprising his role of Iceman, and of course Ed Harris, John Hamm, Louis Pullman, Glenn Powell, Monica Barbaro, pardon. With as supporting cast, as well as a number of many others. I want to dive into, first things first, when I saw this screening last night, I saw this in a Dolby enhanced theater, and one I've never been in before. This is one of the newest Dolby theaters where when you hit that bass, not only does the theater shake, but your seats shake. Keep that in mind when watching this movie, because anytime there was an afterburner on a jet or they were the high-flying fighting scenes, my seat shook like crazy, and it absolutely enhanced the experience. So if you do get to go to a theater, I highly encourage you, go see this in the best possible environment you can. Go to a Dolby theater if you can. Go to an IMAX theater if you can, because it's just going to enhance the experience of the film. So what can I say about the movie? So first things first, I'm a fan of the original Top Gun. I find it doesn't hold up as well as there are definitely some super fans of the movie out there. But to me, when you go back and you rewatch the original, it kind of comes across as a little cheese. Not a little cheese. It comes across as a lot of cheese. I still enjoy the film, but to me, it just doesn't hold up to what it may have been back when the movie first released. That said, this movie completely updates the franchise. It's a wonderful return to that time and that experience that we got from the first one. Bringing back Tom Cruise as Maverick, Miles Teller taking on the role, taking on a lead role as well, playing side by side with Tom Cruise. They're great together. I know some people are kind of hesitant on Miles Teller, mainly because of some of his past film experiences or film projects. That was the word I was looking for. Projects. Couldn't think of it. Some people Fantastic Four, they wrote him off because of Fantastic Four. I just wrote off Fantastic Four in general. I try not to write off actors because of roles that they've played. I mean, I strongly dislike Twilight, but I think Robert Pattinson is fantastic. Anyway, I'm getting off the topic. People have written off Miles Teller and they kind of put off any projects he does. But let me tell you, he is absolutely phenomenal in this movie. The tension between Maverick and Rooster because of Goose is incredible. And what I absolutely love is everybody from the main cast to the supporting cast puts this, it makes this believable. And I think that's one of the most important things about this movie is the fact that it is believable. From the aerial stunts to the missions that they fly or the mission that they have to fly, they don't make it seem like this is something that is just easily done and everybody can do it. They make this story, while definitely exhilarating and absolutely edge of your seat. I mean, there was one moment in this movie where I literally had to kind of scooch back in my chair because I realized as a scene came to an end, I creeped up. I was sitting, no lie, on the edge of my theater seat, and because that's how engrossed I was in the scene that was happening. So when I say that this movie is edge of your seat action, it is absolutely edge of your seat action. But getting back to what I was saying about it being believable, it's absolutely believable. The mission that they're flying and the danger that comes with it. They let you know that, this is a possible scenario that some of them might not come back from. And I'm not saying whether some of them do or some of them don't, but everything about this is very grounded and believable. It's built in reality, which I think is another reason why this movie took so long, to kind of, forgetting the pandemic and the movie being delayed. I'm talking about the time from Top Gun 1 to Top Gun 2 to the time it took to get this sequel. It had to be believable, and this absolutely is believable. And one of the other things I want to mention about the movie too is there's absolutely a definite feeling of nostalgia and return to things that we knew from the original Top Gun and loved about the original Top Gun with this story, but as well as that, keeping the story original. And it doesn't feel like, while the nostalgia is definitely there, and I absolutely greatly appreciate it, it's not pandering at all to the past. It doesn't feel like the writers threw this in there to kind of just be like, oh yeah, it's meant to tie this story to the original, which they didn't have to do. I mean, you could have done this story without Rooster, without tying it to Goose and Maverick's past, but tying it to Maverick's past absolutely enhances this story and makes it more complex. And I don't want to say complex in a convoluted way. It's complex in it adds a lot of character to the story. So I love the fact that they threw the nostalgia in and tied it to the original without feeling like it's pandering to it. It doesn't feel like it's relying on the past to tell the story. And that's something I absolutely greatly appreciated. Other than that, I really don't know what else I can say about this movie without spoiling it. The aerial stunts are phenomenal. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. They are without a doubt some of the greatest aerial stunts I have ever seen. And one of the things I praise Jerry Bruckheimer on when he makes movies like this is the fact that there's very little CGI. I mean, these stunts, when you look at behind the scenes of a lot of this stuff, it is, I mean, if you know Tom Cruise, you know Tom Cruise isn't going to allow it because he does most of his stunts himself. And as a matter of fact, I think there are even a couple scenes in this movie where when you see him flying the jet, he's actually flying the jet because that's just Tom Cruise. I mean, let's not be real about it. So one of the things that just makes this movie so much better and enhances the experience of watching this movie is the fact that the aerial stunts that you are seeing are absolutely real. They're not CGI. These are trained pilots pulling off these stunts. They are absolutely amazing. So I don't want to say too much more. I just kind of wanted to hype the movie up a little bit, tell you about my experience and how much I enjoyed it. I know as this was I usually go to two different types of screenings. One is, you know, they invite the press, but they also have like radio contest winners come in. So it's usually a full theater. And then there are press only screenings where it's full theater. We have access to the theater, but there's maybe only 20 to 30 of us in the theater. And that's what this was. This was a press screening where, you know, there were maybe only about 25 of us in the theater last night when we saw the movie. But what I really love about those press screenings is once the movie is over, even though we don't all know each other personally, it's kind of a tradition that once the movie's over, we all kind of leave the theater and we kind of congregate in the hallway outside of the theater and kind of share our experiences. And I can tell you right now that for the most part, I didn't hear one negative review of this movie from any of us that were there at the press screening last night. We all very much highly enjoyed it. It's very rare that at a press only screening there is applause at the end of the movie, and this movie gathered applause from the press, and it was absolutely great. I highly encourage you to go and see this movie in theaters if you can. I know not everybody is still comfortable with the return of the theater experience, and that's fine too. I know we're living in a different time right now. Not everybody's going to be comfortable with it. However, if you are comfortable with the experience of going to a theater, you're okay going to a theater, I highly encourage you, if you're a fan of the property, if you're a fan of the original Top Gun, if you're a fan of Tom Cruise or Miles Teller, Jennifer Connelly, any of these characters, go to a theater. Go to the best experience that you can find, whether it's Dolby or 4DX or IMAX. Check it out in the best possible way that you can, and just enjoy the theater. And if you're waiting for it to release at home, you've got about 2 months, 2.5 months. There's a 45-day wait period. So by the end of the summer, you'll be able to watch this at home, if not a little bit sooner. But if you have surround sound and a big TV, you'll get a great experience. If you don't, and you're just sitting at a computer, you're going to enjoy it for the story. You'll miss out on a little bit of the effects, but that's okay. I mean, we're all film lovers, and we love just watching movies. So I absolutely recommend this movie 100%. Out of a possible 10, I give this movie, at the very least, a 9. It could be higher. And I never thought I would give that kind of review to a Top Gun movie, but here I am. I stand corrected. I stand pleasantly surprised. And I personally cannot wait to see this movie again. I will absolutely be in theaters watching this again. The movie releases next Friday, May 27th. So if you have the opportunity, go to theaters, check out the movie. But that's all I'm going to say about this. I went on a little bit longer than I wanted to. I said 5 to 10 minutes, and we're going on about 13, 14. But that's all right. That's totally all right. Again, reminder, these are purely my opinions and nothing more. Go and see the movie, form your own opinion. That's all I can say. As for Wilhelm, some great content coming up in top 5 format. I've got some great guest conversations coming up. Actually, within a number of days of you hearing this, you'll be getting some of that new content as well. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the support. And until next time, we'll see you on another episode of Wilhelm. Take care.